A few weeks ago, I noticed there was a car in the lot of my condo community, and it appeared there was a man living in the car. Now, my vehicle had been broken into at least three different times in recent months. I didn't see who did it, but based on what was stolen from my vehicle, I assumed the criminal was a homeless person who took items he or she could easily sell. So the sight of this unhoused person living in his car that was parked just two spaces away from my car put me in defense mode. I reported it to the condo management, and they had the homeless man's vehicle towed away. I don't know how the person came to be homeless and living in his car in my parking lot, but my primary concern at the time was keeping my property from seeming like the next best heist, because nobody of sound mind and with marketable skills would end up living in their car, right? Now, according to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, there are nearly 772,000 Americans who live in their vehicle, and that was as late as January of 2025. So, if you have experienced homeless or you know anyone who is, I'm looking at the comments now. Let me know how it happened and what your current situation is. A lot of people end up homeless, some for substance abuse reasons or mental health, and a lot of other reasons that we might not know about. So that's when I learned that Don Robinson, the founding member of the group EnVogue and former member of Lucy Pearl, who admitted that she has been living in her car for the past 3 years, has recently started to talk about what's going on with her. So my question was, how did this happen? And why would someone with a resume like Don Robinson end up living on the curbside? I read in some of the social media comments about it that it's not uncommon that people end up living in their vehicles in cities like New York, LA, Atlanta, because they move to those places to get their career started in the entertainment industry, and things just don't hit right away. So for them, it might seem like it makes more sense to live out of their vehicle rather than to spend money on hotels or staying with family or friends, just because we all know that sometimes those relationships come with drama and chaos that we could do without, right? Now, maybe their plan was to live in their car for a couple of days, couple of weeks, and then that couple of weeks turns into a few months and even a few years. Who knows? Then I thought about another person I know who went from being gainfully employed 6 months ago, making about $85,000 a year, to living in his vehicle right now. He's making money by driving and doing DoorDash. In his case, we'll call him James. James said that his supervisor told him not to come back to work, but he has never officially been terminated, so he can't file for unemployment. His case is under review for a possible lawsuit that he could file against his employer, but we all know those things take time. And in the meantime, his private pilot's license or his training as a pharmacy technician have not helped him to get another job. So, like Don Robinson, my friend James has a family and a network of friends and options to live with relatives who would most certainly offer short-term housing, if nothing else. But he would rather suffer through his setbacks alone than to let most of them know about his current situation. If you haven't already, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you'll be the first to know. Now, sometimes, though, it's the people who are closest to us that bring the most drama to our lives and the most chaos to our lives. And sometimes we might find that we find peace of mind living alone in what seems to be an uncomfortable situation rather than living with other people in what seems to be an ideal situation. I know growing up as an only child and spending most of my time alone as an unmarried person with no children, I really enjoy being alone, or I'm content with being alone. I don't need to be around a whole lot of people for me to be happy and content. And that is reinforced every time I talk to most people and they start talking about their family drama and the things that they're going through. I am thankful once again, over again, when I hear what other people have to go through because they are part of a bigger family. So I certainly get it. All I'm saying is that we all are going through something, and how we choose to handle it and with whom we choose to share it probably depends on the strength of our network. So even though we can't individually solve the homeless problem in America, we can try to be a strong link for somebody in our network. So if you have people in your network who you have not talked to in a while, it's always good to just check in with people, send them a text, give them a phone call, and just spend time talking with people. So, of course, it's their prerogative, it's their choice if they choose to go through whatever they're going through by themselves. But sometimes many of us don't realize that we could have said something differently. We could have had a softer tone with someone. We could have done something differently to make their life or that instance that we came across them, make it seem just a little better and to show more compassion. So if you are in a place where, and I know you've heard the saying, it doesn't cost anything to be nice to people. It really doesn't. Just a smile or hello or hold the door for somebody, or, because if that's all it takes for somebody to have the strength to keep going, then why not do that? That's all I got for you today. To find out more about the things that I care about, you can go to the written version of my journal. That's at eurweb.com. Thank you so much and have a super day.